The WWE Universe has seen its fair share of betrayals, heart-wrenching moments, and bonds breaking in ways that no one could have predicted. However, nothing could have prepared us for the shocking turn of events that took place on Monday Night Raw. A moment that redefined everything, a moment that etched itself in WWE history, the moment Seth Rollins brought that steel chair crashing down onto the spine of Roman Reigns. But this wasn't just an attack. This was more than just a brutal act of violence. This was the reopening of old wounds. Wounds that had never fully healed. This wasn't about two men fighting over titles or pride. This was about something much deeper. A betrayal that had haunted them both for over a decade. A betrayal that, when it occurred, split the entire wrestling world apart. In this moment, Seth Rollins didn't just attack Roman Reigns. No, Seth Rollins reopened the darkest chapter of WWE history. A chapter that began with the rise of The Shield, a brotherhood of warriors who once ruled the WWE, who once fought side by side, each one carving out their legacy with blood, sweat, and tears. But now, in 2025, that illusion has been shattered. Roman Reigns, the once untouchable Universal Champion, has fallen. And Seth Rollins? He's done something even more dangerous than ever before. He's reignited a war that never truly ended. But the biggest question is, who's watching now? Who's waiting in the shadows, ready to take revenge? The answer is simple. It's Jon Moxley. The man who was once Dean Ambrose is coming for Seth Rollins, with vengeance in his eyes and destruction in his heart. To fully grasp the magnitude of what's happening now, we need to go back, all the way back, to where this story began. A story of betrayal, redemption, and now, once again, bloodshed. This is the story of The Shield. The rise of The Shield. In the early days of The Shield, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose were unstoppable. They came into WWE with a mission, a purpose. They weren't just three men looking for fame or fortune. No, they were a unit. A brotherhood forged in fire. The trio was led by the belief that no one could touch them, that together they were untouchable. Roman Reigns, the powerhouse. Seth Rollins, the architect of destruction. Dean Ambrose, the unpredictable lunatic. Together, they were a force of nature, tearing through WWE's roster, leaving a wake of devastation in their path. From the moment they debuted, they declared war on the establishment, on the authority, and on anyone who stood in their way. For years, they dominated. For years, they fought side by side, claiming victories and championships. But as we all know, nothing in WWE stays the same forever. Not even the strongest brotherhood. The Betrayal, 2014. 2014 will forever be remembered as the year everything fell apart. The Shield had dominated the WWE landscape, but there were cracks beneath the surface. Cracks that no one could see at the time. It was a slow build, but when it happened with a bang. At WWE's Money in the Bank pay-per-view, Seth Rollins did the unthinkable. He betrayed his brothers. The moment came when Seth Rollins, standing side by side with Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, suddenly took a steel chair and swung it into the back of Dean Ambrose. The betrayal wasn't just about the chair shot. It was about the message that followed. Seth Rollins was no longer a member of the Shield. He was no longer Roman Reigns or Dean Ambrose's brother. Seth Rollins had sold his soul to the authority, the very group that the Shield had fought against for so long. The WWE Universe was in shock. Fans were speechless. For months, we had watched the Shield destroy everyone in their path, and in one moment, Seth Rollins tore it all down. The group was done. Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose were left reeling, betrayed by the one man they thought they could trust. And thus began the war. Seth Rollins went on to align himself with Triple H, to become a part of the authority. Meanwhile, Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose fought on as a duo, seeking vengeance on the man who had betrayed them. But Seth Rollins was far more dangerous now. With the power of the Authority behind him, he was unstoppable. The rise of Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns was always seen as the powerhouse of the Shield, the one who could go toe-to-toe with anyone. But after the breakup, he became WWE's top babyface, fighting his way through the ranks, eventually capturing the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 31. While Roman Reigns fought against the likes of Brock Lesnar and John Cena, he always had that piece of unfinished business hanging over his head, Seth Rollins. Seth, now the chosen one of the Authority, would go on to claim the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 31 after cashing in his Money in the Bank contract in a moment that still sends shockwaves through WWE history. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins would eventually collide at multiple points, with Roman seeking revenge for his betrayal, and Seth always finding new ways to maintain his grip on the top of WWE. But there was always something missing in Roman's pursuit of Seth. The fire. The rage. It wasn't until much later that Roman would find the darkness within himself that would finally allow him to become the tribal chief, the dominant force that we know today. The return of the Shield, redemption and reunification. After years of battling each other, things seemed to finally come full circle when the Shield reunited in 2019. Fans had longed for it. The WWE Universe had begged for it. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose came together one last time to take down common enemies like Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre, and Bobby Lashley. For a brief moment, it seemed like the Brotherhood was back. The fans believed that the past was forgiven. That Seth Rollins' betrayal, the years of bad blood, had finally been put to rest. But the reunion didn't last long. Dean Ambrose, now Jon Moxley, had his own demons to battle, and eventually, he would leave WWE in 2019 to pursue a darker, more violent path. He left the Shield behind once again, but this time, it wasn't just the group that had fractured. It was Jon Moxley himself who became a different beast entirely. The Unlikely Revival, 2025. Fast forward to 2025, and WWE is in the midst of a new era. Roman Reigns is the longest reigning Universal Champion of all time, dominating the WWE with an iron fist. Seth Rollins is a proven champion in his own right, but now he's something darker. Something more dangerous. On a fateful Monday Night Raw, Seth Rollins did something no one saw coming. He betrayed Roman Reigns again. This wasn't a casual slap in the face. No, Seth Rollins brought a steel chair crashing down on Roman Reigns' back with brutal precision, leaving the tribal chief incapacitated in the ring. The silence that followed was deafening. This was no longer a rivalry between two men. This was personal. This was a war that had never truly ended. The fans stood frozen, stunned. They didn't know whether to cheer or boo. All they could do was watch in disbelief. Seth Rollins had done the unthinkable, and in doing so, he had torn open a wound that had never fully healed. Jon Moxley, the coming storm. But while Seth Rollins stood victorious in the ring, there was someone watching. Someone who never forgot. Someone who was ready to make Seth Rollins pay. Jon Moxley, the man who was once Dean Ambrose, is no longer the man he used to be. He's evolved. He's darker. He's more dangerous. Moxley has fought through the most brutal matches imaginable, from barbed wire brawls to exploding deathmatches. He's become a living weapon, someone who's unpredictable, unhinged, and merciless. And now, he's coming for Seth Rollins. Moxley's anger isn't just about the betrayal. It's about everything Seth Rollins did to him, to their bond, and to the Shield. Seth Rollins took everything from Moxley, his brothers, his sanity, and his place in WWE. But now, Moxley is back. And this time, he's coming for Rollins with a vengeance that will make everything else pale in comparison. The war is reignited. The stage is set. The stage for the biggest war WWE has seen in years. Seth Rollins has ignited a fire that cannot be put out. He has betrayed Roman Reigns again, opening the door for a war that will not be easily forgotten. And Jon Moxley? He's coming. With his own twisted version of justice. This isn't just about the past anymore. This is about the future. This is about redemption. This is about survival. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Jon Moxley, 3 men who were once brothers, now enemies. And the war is about to get a whole lot more personal. Stay tuned, because the storm is coming. But wait, there's so much more to discover. Click on the next video right here, shown on the screen, for more exclusive insights, reactions, and all the latest happenings in the wrestling world. You won't want to miss it. Every click helps us grow and brings you more amazing content. So please, don't leave just yet, join us for the next video and keep the wrestling conversation going. Thank you for being part of our community. Goodbye for now.